So I think in the last session, we started understanding about HashMap and we completed the basic methods as part of HashMap class. So that means the regular methods, what are being available in list set as like that. We discussed what are the methods being available in the HashMap also with respect to addition, deletion and remove operation point of view. So here when it comes to the HashMap, it's all about key value pairs data we are going to store, not a individual values. So whenever we have a requirement like where we have to store keys and values, combination point of view, then we have to choose hash map or maybe map interface related classes. So and again we discussed couple of other points also with respect to map interface and hash map, especially hash map class point of view. So what it is, so we know that it's all just key value pairs and all, and keys should be unique always. So that means keys should be unique means even though we are inserted duplicates, what will happen? It will not maintain duplicate values. It will maintain only unique values. So whatever the values you are passing duplicate values for unique keys or maybe whatever it is, if you are passing duplicate values, then there is no issue. Values are allowed duplicates. So like that, but keys should not be duplicate even though if you are passing, it will maintain the latest key value pair inside the HashMap object. Okay, and as a key, one time null value is allowed. That means we can pass null as a key in the HashMap. So in the HashMap level, whenever we are passing the values in the HashMap internally, so what will happen here it is, we can pass one time the key value pair as null. Sorry, key value as null. So if you have taken this is a key and this is the I mean value point of view in the hash map. So one time you can pass null. One time you can pass null and its value. Its value you can pass. But more than one time you can't pass null. So definitely right. Even first of all, what is the rule of keys? Even though if you are passing duplicate values, it will maintain only, sorry, even though you are passing duplicate keys, it will maintain only one key. That means if I am passing again null one more time and if I am passing value something like 10, then what will happen in this case is the old value, okay, will be in place of old one, the new one will be taken into the consideration. So that means going now what will happen with respect to null, the latest value is value 10. So latest value is overridden on top of old value when you are passing the same key one more time. The same formula applicable for other keys also. The same formula applicable for other keys also. So here, for example, again, key value point of view, if you are applying, for example, a value called as 1 and its value called as something like value something like double one, then again if you are passing one key, what will happen here it is, if you are passing again one more time of same key name, then what will happen, and if you are passing for example value is different, so in this case what will happen, that these points also we discussed. So in this case what's happening, at with respect to the rule of keys, it has to maintain, it is going to maintain only one key at a time. So that means either this one or this one has to keep the inside, I mean inside hash map, either this key value pair will be maintained or this one will be maintained. But which one is taking is the latest one what we are adding, that is what always consider. So that means it's nothing but I can say like value one value, this value is overridden with the latest value. Instead of creating something like that, you can consider like this. So that means what happened in this case, ultimately only one key is maintained, but it is taking the latest value, whatever you inserted, second time, third time. If you inserted again one more time one value 33, then again value 33 will be replaced in the value 22. So ultimately only one key and its associated value is maintained like that. So those are all rules we discussed in the last class and we taken examples also. And when it comes to values null, number of value. Yeah, so we can pass null as a value for any number of keys. So that means, for example, sometimes we don't have the values, we have only keys. I have only keys, I don't have the values. Yes, we can pass null in such case. There is no issue. We can pass null in such case. So I have key and I don't have the value, so we can pass the null. Similarly, I have key called as, so then I don't have any value, so I can pass null. So these two are valid scenarios. So values wise, there is no restriction. You can pass duplicate values, you can pass null values, you can do anything with respect to null. Sorry, values. With respect to keys only, you have to make sure always passing unique values. Even if you are passing duplicates, you will not get any issue. Internal, it will maintain only unique values, unique keys, and its associated values. And one time only you can pass null as a key, not more than that. So these are the rules you have to remember. And after that, we taken a lot of examples also, basic examples like how we are putting the data. So how we are storing data inside HashMap is by using put method. By using put method, we are putting the values. So key comma value pairs. So the moment whenever you are defining HashMap here, we have to make sure what is the key data type, what is the value data type, we have to define as a generics. So now in this case, string comma string means I'm storing strings as keys and strings as values inside this hash map like that. So based on the data type, you have to define the generics. Okay. So in this case, Dilip IT is the email ID, Dilip IT is the email ID added two times. So that means in such case, what will happen? So Dilip IT value is replaced by ABC123, right? So that is what we observed in when we are taking the output or when we observe what's happening internally point of view. Now let's see here. Internal it is maintaining with respect to dilipit@gmail.com ABC123, the latest value. So ultimately dilipit@gmail at the rate gmail.com is maintained only one time, the key. Even though I added two times. If you added 10 times also, it will pick up the latest value, what is you added. That value will be maintained inside the hash map against to that keys. Okay, and then read operations means you have a method called as get method. So you have to pass key, then it will return value. Then it will return its associated value. So in this case, you will get ABC123. So that is what available for that key internally value is. Now, okay, so now similarly, remove operation point of view also, what we are doing is we are passing the key so that internally it is removing key and value pair. So internally it is removing key and value pair. It is removing from the hash map. So if I am passing dilip@gmail.com, what will happen means this entire key value pair will be deleted. So that means one count is reducing, like only this key value pair, this key value pair, this key value pair will be available once this line is executed. So that means key and value pair is deleted. Okay, clear means you know that all the key and value pairs are going to be removed. And remove, okay. So this is a overloaded method where you are saying like if the value is matching, then remove it like that. Okay, if key and value data is matching, so you are giving key and value. So if it is matching, then only it will delete. For example, you given 1@gmail.com and value you given ABC at 123. So when it comes to the ABC point of view, when at ABC at the rate 123, but we given ABC, yeah, real value is in the hash map 1 at the rate 123, but we given ABC at the rate 123. So that means in this case, what will happen? It will not delete any value. Why? The value is not matching. In earlier case, remove point of view, blindly it is deleting key and value pair when key is available. In this case, even though key is not available, it's not deleting immediately. It is comparing the value. Even value is matching, key and value both are matching, then it is deleted. So like that, based on needs, we have to use. Sometimes your requirement will demand, Okay, delete value just based on the key, that's all. Then you have to take this method. Sometimes our requirements will demand don't delete immediately one based on the key and try to validate value also. If both are matching, then only delete it. So or like that you may get the requirement, then we have to go with this like that. So it's all overloaded methods, is that is the advantage. Number of use cases point of view, we will have implementation. Okay, so is key existed? Contains key, we know that contains value means it's very simple and straightforward methods. We don't need to discuss much. So even get value. If key is existed, get our default. I explained you last week very clearly. So please go through it. So when your value is available, get our default get represents. If key is available, that value will return. If key is not available, it will return null. It will return null. If in case when you are passing key to the get method, if key is existed, its associated value will be written. If key is not existed, then null value will be written. But in this case, get our default point of view, if key is existed, that associated value will be written. If key is not existed, then this value will be written. So in this case, xyz@gmail.com. So if you observe in the hash map level, there is no xyz@gmail.com email ID. So that means there is no key. So if it is only get method, then what will happen generally is it will return immediately null, like key not found. But in this case, when key not found, it's not returning default value. So it's not returning null, it's returning a default value what we are configured here or what we given here it is. So that means it will return not found in this specific scenario. If I given again 1@gmail.com, then it will return 1@123. Like that, this method will work. Okay, so like that, this method is going to work. So these are all the methods, common methods we discussed across hash map point of view. I mean regular methods like that. Now let's see iterating the hash map. Then we'll go with this concept, objects and keys as values. Now let's understand how to iterate the object. So iteration of map objects. So iteration means looping. I mean, you know that just iterating all the hash map values. We are not done that. We are taking only one value based on one key, like by using get method. But now I want to iterate the entire hash map objects. Assume my hash map is having 1,000 objects or 10,000 objects, like whatever it is. I want to iterate it. Iteration means just looping. You are making like one by one key value pair visited like that. So iteration point of view, how to iterate it. So whenever now, for example, my requirement point of view, a small requirement point of view, I'll say like, please print all keys and values as values in the format of, okay, key and followed by like this. I have to print all the values from a hash map. You have to print all the values like key and value point of view. So that means, for example, key and its value like that. So arrow mark, I have to print like that. So then what you can do, and it has to print all the values. So definitely what you have to do all keys and values means definitely you have to use iterators. You have to iterate the hash map. That means you have to use loops, right? So how to do that? Let's see here. So if it is a linked list or maybe list and set point of view, we taken for each loop, right? Or we taken for loop also, and we take an iterator also. Now here we observe what we have. Okay, let me take new class. Okay, so I'm taking like integer, comma, string is equal to new hash map, or like I'll take like products. Okay, so now products, I'll keep values quickly. Products 1 comma apple, products 2 comma banana, products 3 comma orange, products, it's taking fruits. Let me take it. You can take products also, 1 comma something like that, but it is saving my time. Okay. What I will do in this case is peer. So in place of peer, I'll keep something like cherry or whatever it is. Okay. So now I have a group of, I mean, lot of values inside the hash map. Now you can imagine more than 100, 2000 values like that also. Okay. So let's print all these values in the sample output is, I'm just showing you like this. Sample output should come like this. So I want to see one hyphen app, I mean apple, like that I want to print it. Whatever it is, or I want to print only keys, or I want to print all the values, not keys. Like so, that means whenever you hear it as all means, or a group of values or a set of key value pairs or whatever it is, definitely you have to go with loops, right? So then in this case, how do you do that? It's all key value pairs. Earlier it is only single values. You are using some for loop and for each, and you have very straightforward things there. But here a small point we have to understand with respect to iteration, what it is, let's try to understand. For example, first if you observe here, any method with respect to iterator, let's understand. Get, we know that, put, remove, these are all we discussed. Contains value, yeah. So if you see here, this is the one important method we have to remember when you want to iterate the hash map. What it is? Entry set method. Entry set method. So what is the meaning of entry set method here? It is, see, it's suggesting Stream API. Cool. Your requirement is completed. Stream API. If you are using Stream API, there is the output. It printed all the values. Simply if you given here arrow mark. See, this is Stream API, but anyway, that's what I'm telling you. Stream API is more powerful nowadays. So we will understand Stream API maybe from tomorrow onwards. We'll start Stream API, or we are going to start very soon. Okay, but if you are doing same thing with respect to regular loops, how it will happen, we will see that. But anyway, see, Eclipse, not Eclipse, IntelliJ editor itself suggesting the Stream API there rather than regular for loops or regular looping statements point of view. But anyway, we will try to understand. So Stream API we will see later. I'll ignore it above line. So let's take the same method again one more time. So what it is saying, if you observe the return type of method, entry set. So return type is set, and again set is contained internally entry objects. Entry of integer comma string. So let me take that same as it is. So set. Set means our hash set point of view. Set, and what it is returning? Entry. Right? So it's returning entry. Key value pair. So if you observe here, entry is from the package called as java.util, and as well as if you observe here dart map. So that means there is a concept available internal classes point of view. Okay, so we will see that later, but don't worry, I'll simplify the concept. So here I'll take like this. Yeah, map.entry of, it's all what are the values we stored, keys, integer comma string. Map. Okay. So what is the meaning of it is what's happening in this case is fruits. I mean, whenever you're calling this entry set method, generally what will happen here it is when you're in the internally with respect to hash map implementation internally inside hash map. Okay. What will happen is whenever you are storing key value pairs, that key value pair is always referred as an entry object. So the key value pair is always referred as a entry object internally inside the hash map. So that means now, for example, in this case, I have overall, okay, one, two, three, four values, four key and value pairs, right? So overall four. Why? Because okay, null is overridden with latest value. That's such a point of view. If I remove this also, let me keep null here. Okay, let's remove it. No problem. Okay, so now in this case, overall four entry objects available. Entry. See, internally that is how they implemented, guys. Entry, entry k comma v. So key value pair. So that means in this case, the moment you define hash map and internally it will start whenever you are putting a value key comma value inside the hash map, internally it will maintain okay those key value pairs as a entry of objects. Entry objects. So total how many entry objects available means 1, 2, 3, 4. A key value pair is maintained as an entry object. Okay, so entry objects. So that is what you are seeing here. It is now. So that is what the entry set method from the hash map object is returning the respective all entry objects. So that means total four objects. It's returning as a hash set. Now all these four objects returning as set object. What set? Set is nothing but our similar. I mean, we discussed right set interface like has set classes. So it's returning in the form of set object. In the form of set object. Now set contains how many objects in this case? In this case, four. In this case, four. So that means the moment you are calling entry set method internally, it is picking all entry objects and it's storing as again it's returning and it is keeping all the values again as a set. Finally it is returning set. So now if it is a set, you know what to do. Let's take a regular for loop or maybe iterator, whatever you want to take, you can take. Now if you observe here, what's happening again? So you know that right, regular for loop point of view, what you have to take. So set of objects, right? So then generally what we will do regular for each loop, enhanced for loop point of view, for loop, and here we will take the collection name, and then here we know that collection contains what values or what objects. That data type we will define here. So now in this case, set itself internally contains entry objects. Set itself internally contains entry objects. So entry is nothing but key value pair, a combination of key comma value. Combination of key comma is considering as entry inside the hash map. So that combination of key comma value objects as an entry available inside the set. So that's what we are just iterating. So we are reading one by one entry object by using this enhanced for loop. And now see if you observe here, this is the temporary variable, right? So this is a temporary variable. We know that to take one by one value from the collection or maybe array with respect to for each loop point of view, we will take a temporary variable. The temporary variable always refers to the a current object from that list or set or array point of view, right? So this behavior you know that. Now that means entry contains what? First object, first entry object. So then from that, so that means if you come back here, now in this case, if I taken that entry reference variable, first this object will available. So this object means this is the entry object. So this is the entry object it is pointing. Yeah, I can say like this or else. Now, with respect to the for each loop point of view, you take an entry, right? Okay, so now this entry pointed to first object in the looping point of view. Now that means key comma value. So that's what I'm using here. It is get key and entry dot get value. So what is this entry? It is a reference of, this is a reference of, this is a temporary reference pointing to the first entry object. So then key comma value, like that it is printing. Now the same story is going to be repeated, right? For looping means what? Same story is going to be repeated every time. Same logic will be executed until the last value. So now what will happen second? Then immediately it will start referring same entry object to next entry object. Next entry object. Now once, so that means key is 1 and value is 22, like that it will print. Now after that again same entry is pointed to third one. After that again the same entry object is pointed to fourth object. So then it will become this value entry object and it is executing the body of for loop and it's moving to the next value. So like that the for loop will execute it and you know that. So here the point what you have to remember is this entry set object, and entry set object is always written, sorry, entry set method is always written a set of type of entry objects. Why? In the hash map the values are always stored inside the, in the hash map we used to, I used to represent as, in the hash map values are going to be stored in the key value formats, right? Key value formats. But the key value formats, the moment I mentioned as key value format, is nothing but internally that that combination is considering as entry object. Entry object by hash map. That key value pair combination what we are putting inside the hash map, internally the overall key value is considering as entry object. So entry is equal, entry is nothing but, entry object is nothing but key and value, key and values. So that is how you got all set of key and value pair objects. You got all has set point of view set of set, it's returning set of entry objects. So now what you are doing, you are iterating all entry objects one by one and you are picking entry dot get key, entry dot get value. So like that you are getting individual values and you are printing it. So see here now, same requirement we are achieving or not. So same output you got again. So if you observe here stream API, now understand the importance of stream API. I written 3-4 lines of logic to achieve this requirement. But if I am using stream API, it completed within one line. Within one line, right? So that's what stream API is reducing lot of logic, and stream API is making different way of programming also. If you observe here, this is what lambda expression. So this is lambda expression. So we know functional interfaces and lambda expressions. So please revise your knowledge at least today and tomorrow, because we are going to start stream API very soon within 1 or 2 classes. And so that's why please go through the functional interfaces and lambda expressions one more time. It is completely built on top of functional interfaces and lambda expression concepts. Okay, so just go through it. Meanwhile, fine. So this is how one way you can iterate the value. So this, it's up to your choice based on the programming point of view what you are taking. But nowadays, that's what I told you. Nobody is using old approaches like this. So like using regular for loops, very rare case. Mostly people are going with this stream only. And if you are writing stream API point of view programming, then only your code is getting approved. Okay. So now stream API we will see later with respect to hash set list, all this point of view. Now second way here itself, let's try to understand. Now let's take same hash map object one more time. Okay. And observe any other methods apart from that entry set. So entry set we understood. Entry set is nothing but it will return entry objects, a set of entry objects. Entry is nothing but the key value pair is called as entry. Okay, so if you see here, key set. Yeah, yeah. So if you see here, this is one more method, key set method. So what this is the key set method it is saying here it is, if you observe the key set method, what it is saying, returns a set of keys contained in the map. So on a overall, what it was trying to say here it is, this method returns all the keys as a set. See, when you take an entry set, all entry objects, key value, key value, key value, key value. But this time the method is entry, sorry, key set, not entry, key set. So the meaning of key set method here it is, this what this method is doing in this case is internally, how it is implemented is, it is going to pick up only keys, all the keys from the hash map as a set. So that means what is going to happen internally as part of this method is, internally they are returning set point of view keys. What are the keys available? Null, comma, one, comma, so 2, comma, 3, like that. The only keys, all the keys are collected as a set. All the keys, all the keys. But in earlier case, it's all about entry set, entry set method. So when you are calling entry set method, what happened? You got all entry objects, set of entry objects. But this time set of only keys. Now you know that, right? When you know the key, when we have key, how to get the value? Yes, right. We know the method of get key, right? If you are passing key to the get method, then what will happen? It will return the value. So that means in this case, what behavior you are saying is you are getting keys one time, and by using those keys again you are calling get method, and then you are getting the values. Two ways, two steps you are doing in this case. But here, if with this method you are getting directly all key value pairs at a time. So that means as an entry, always it is representing key and its value. So it's up to your choice what you are going under. So it's like that. So let's see here now what you are getting set, has set, right? Yeah, set, and keys are which data type? You know that integer data type. So that's why you have to take here integer only. Keys all are integers. All keys. You got only keys. All keys you got it. So by using this method. Now after that, if you want to see values one by one, see all keys and you will take a key variable and integer point of view. Then yes. Yeah. If you see here, what's happened again? Key, you got it already, right? You're that is what? Or you got already all the keys. And for that respective keys, you are trying to pick up respective value. You are trying to pick up respective value. So that's why what you are doing, you are passing that key, whatever the key you are referring one by one from all the keys, you are passing to the hash map again by calling get method. By calling get method. So then it will pick up value for that key. So that is how you are doing in the second approach. Okay, so first you are getting keys, and then by using those keys, you are getting the values. In this approach, directly you are getting key and value pair. Directly you are getting key and value pair as an entry objects. So then by using that entry.get key, entry.get value. So it will return always that respective key and respective value. Like that, it will iterate all the hash map values. In this case, first you are getting keys, and again by using those keys, you are again iterating to get the values by passing get method. by passing the get method. So this is second approach. I think this is the best approach, right? So this is the best approach and it is very quick approach also. So, but anyway, we have to know options. That's why we are seeing that. Let's see any other methods now, what we have to discuss. So with this entry set we discussed, that means iterating the hash map value pairs. So guys, please practice minimum 3 to 4 examples. Yeah, for each I'll take later. So we will discuss, first of all, we have to discuss consumer about it. Put, we know, put all, you know that. So you can put one hash map into another hash map. Nothing but, no, it's not one hash map into another hash map. If you remember, if you understand this very well, put all, if you are trying to understand that what will happen, it is, for example, put all method, right? Yeah. So in this case, what it is asking is another hash map object, another hash map. But the rule here it is when you are putting another hash map here, so that another hash map must and should belongs to same key value pair data types. Same key value pairs data. Nothing but, for example, if you see here hash map fruits 2. Okay. So if you observe here, this is important for me. Integer string. And this is first one also integer and string. So that means data types point of view keys are integer, values are string. Similarly, second hash map what I created right now also the new hash map data type also same. Keys are integer, string. Now I can keep this fruits 2 into fruits 1 lab. So that means I'm merging the two hash maps belongs to same data point of view. So fruits 2 again I given like 10 and then I given something like apple or whatever it is. Yeah, 11. Okay, something. So I given like this. Now what I can do, fruits dot put all. It's all just keeping merging one hash map into another. So now I'm keeping fruits too. Keeping fruits too. So now what will happen? Inside fruits, again these two values will be added. Inside the fruits level, again these two key value pairs added. So that means now with respect to this size is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Now after this fruit size will become 9, I think 9. Okay, so let's see that. That means simple, both the values are added. I can use that fruits. So see here, all these two values are also added to the hash map one. If you observe here, 10 and 11 both are added. Now if it is having any duplicate, for example, I'm giving 1. Hash map 2 is having 1 also. But HashMap 1 is also having 1 also. 1 apple, 1 blueberry like that. So now in this case, what will happen? Guess. Is it going to keep 1 apple or 1 blueberry? Is it going to override the blueberry? So definitely, what we discuss latest value, it will pick up, right? So based on that, what happened? Earlier one value is apple value. But now we given when you are merging HashMap 2 into HashMap 1, but one is a key is available and it's having value new, let other value called as blueberry, and if you observe, it taken the blueberry value. So like that put all method. Okay, so any other methods? Entry set we discussed. Right now, merge, okay, not required. Put all we discussed. Put if absent. Put if absent, you can understand this. If key value, you can pass key value. If key is not there, then only it will be added. If key is available, then it will not add. That is what point it is. Put if absent. That means if key is presented, then it will not add any value. It will not override also. That means it will not, first of all, it will not put any value. If key is not available, then only it will be added. So for example, I am giving key as 100, and then followed by some value. I'm giving something like whatever it is, kiwi. Okay. So that means what happens if 100 is available in the fruits level, then only it will be, then it will not add. Sorry. If not available, then it will add. So let's see here now. If you observe here, 100 being added. 100 is added. Why 100 is added? Because earlier there is no 100 key. Key is not there. 100 key is not there. That's why the method is saying if absent, then add that respective key value pair. Now if I am adding again same 100 to the same hash map, maybe with a different value I'll give. So, okay, so different value I'll give something, whatever it is. Now what will happen this time? Let's see. If you observe here what happened, still kiwis existed. It's not overridden in the mango. If you are keeping put, then what will happen? Blindly it will replace mango in place of kiwi. So, but sometimes my requirement is very clear. Please make sure if that key is presented, don't insert, don't add it. If key is not presented, then only add it. Like that, my requirement is remaining. If key presented, don't add. If key is present, not presented, then only add it. So then you have to take this method. So that is the difference between put and put if absent methods point of view. So you can observe here also. Okay, so if I'm printing this again, then you will see the latest as mango. Latest you are saying as mango because it's a put method. Put means blindly overriding. If key is available, it will override. If key is not available, new entry. But put if option means if key is available, no addition. If key is not available, then only it will put this key value pair like that. So that is the difference between this. Now let's see any other methods. Yeah, replace all you can try. Okay, so it's all similar to put all point of view, replace all. I mean, you just try that. Replace key value pair, replace key value and new value point of view. So if key value, so please try in between these two things automatically. You can understand very easily. So replace, just replacing key and value pair like that. It's nothing but put operation point of view only. But only thing is, whenever it is matching key and value pair, it will do that. And it is new value. So like that, just observe it. Small methods only can easily grasp the things. And if you observe here, what is this, guys? Values. So what is the meaning of values? Okay, let's go here. So yeah, here. So if I'm taking this method, you can understand very easily here in this place. Why? Because in earlier it's returning all the keys as a set. All the keys as a set. Now in this case, all the values as a set. All the values as a set. All the values as a set. Or no, it will not return set, it will return I think list only. Let's show you what it is. Return type values collection object, not set. Okay, so that means It is taking direct collection reference, direct parent reference point of view. See here, now what happens in this case is it returns all the values, all values. Here, all keys. And by using keys, you can get the sets with respect to values also by using get method. But here, you are directly getting the values irrespective of key. Without keys, you are reading all the values. If you see here, this is what all values came. So that means to get individual keys, all keys, you have a method. To get all values, you have a method. If you want to get key value pace, you have a method, entry set like that. Very small methods only, but you have to remember all these things. And very much straightforward also. Contains value, hashtag, notify. This is all not required here. Yeah, size we know that. So it's all size of hash map. Replace all, replace you can try. Much you know that. Contains value for each we will discuss later. Okay, clear, you know that. Okay, fine. Clone also, for that we have to discuss some other concept. We'll see at last what is a clone. Clone is nothing but just creating a duplicate object, that's all. Okay, so this is all about the regular basic operations in the hash map. Now my next point here it is, okay, we are done with all iteration and regular methods with respect to primitives and string format or combination point of view. We taken the examples. But now in real time, generally it may be primitives and combination or whatever it is, but sometimes we will have objects also. So is it possible to keep keys as objects or objects as keys and values means answer is yes. We can store any data type values, either keys or values. Okay. So if you taken this first requirement is, or I'll take this requirement later. Next, let's come back to the uh, one more requirement. So what it is my point is collect all orders information based on order ID. Collect orders information based on order ID. So that means going further, whenever I entered order ID 1, for example, then it has to give me all order details like this. What is the order, who placed it, something like that. Then I want to get that respective order ID, its price, who placed that, and number of items in that order, like 3 items or whatever it is, etc. etc. I want to get all the information. So that means in this case, it's an integer key. It's an integer. So what I said, based on the order ID. So that means order information means definitely in Java it's an object. When you want to maintain more than one value at a time, I mean different properties of values as a single unit means it's all object. So now this is all order object. So I'll take 4 to 5 properties in the order class. But I'm storing values in the hash map based on the order ID. If tomorrow when I mention get of 2, so get of 2 like that, if I give an order ID, then it will return the value of order object, nothing but all order information like order ID 2 and who placed that order. Okay, what is the number of items in that order? That all order object information will be written. So like that I want to store it. So in this case, that means what you can define keys are integer because I decided my order ID as integer value. That's why. And values are order objects. Order objects. So yes, we can do keys also objects as any objects, user defined objects or predefined classes objects, whatever it is, as keys as well as values. So in this case, key is integer primitive only, but value is object. So let's take this example quickly and then we'll move to the next example also. Okay, so what I mentioned right now is hash map key is integer, and followed by here what you have to take order type object, the class name, right? But we don't know class as of now. Okay, first that means first we have to create project class. Okay, so what is the data type we have to put here? It is the respective order objects class name. All right, so we don't have any orders class right now. So let me take class called as order class. Sorry, I'll take directly like order info or whatever it is. Okay, so let's say here I'll take some properties based on the Pojo class point of view. Order ID, customer ID, customer name. It's good, man. I'm impressing with intelligence. Customer address, I'll take like location name, customer phone, customer email ID. Cool. Okay, this is enough. Okay, so this is all 5 to 6 variables I taken. Okay, or you can take order ID as integer. Only order ID perspective. Remaining I'll keep as it is. Okay, so let's define generate constructor. I'll create all parameterized constructor. Default constructor, and let's generate setter getters. Okay, and then I'll add toString also. Okay, so now see here, just a Pojo class. It's a pure Pojo class. Now let's come back. So what is the class name? Order information. So that means in this case you are storing values as values of order objects. Values as all values are order objects inside this hash map. Now let's see here orders information. Do we have orders objects as of now? You don't have. Let's create order objects, or you can create directly while putting the values also. Order okay. So order one equal to new order info. Okay, five properties. Or if any default values are there, null will be there, no problem. Customer ID not required. Order ID. Okay, order ID, customer ID. Okay, so just order one object I have. So let's create more than minimum 5 to 6 orders. So order ID 2, customer ID is all about this one. Okay, so order to like that. Order info 3. Okay, first one is order ID, second one is customer ID, second one is customer name, then customer phone, yeah, if you taken more properties, it will take longer time, that's all. But take more properties, no problem. If I taken only one or two properties, it is very easy, but order for. Okay, so in this case, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 5, 6. Same, very simple thing only, just only preparation of data is getting time. Like that. Okay, so total 6 object I have, order objects. Now let's add all these things to your hash map. Yeah, simple. Order information dot put based on the order ID. 1 point of view, order 1 object. 2 point of view, order 2. 3 point of view, order 3. 4, order 4, 5, 6. So that means what happened? You are storing all order objects as values associated to the order number. So 1 point of view, this order object, 2 point of view, this order object, 3 point of view, the 4, 5 like that. All or values are order objects. So now let's iterate it. If you want to iterate it, what you can do? So values point of, I mean all the things, you can take entry set only at a time. Or I will do one thing. Set integer all order IDs equal to key set. Okay. So then I am iterating the key set based on the order ID like that. So then order ID info. So what I'm doing here it is I'm utilizing the method called as key set method. Okay, I'm utilizing the method called as key set and then it's just making all the things. Okay, so it's all just Earlier we stored only string and integer point of view, just order objects. Now from all order IDs point of view, I'm getting at a time order ID and I'm passing to the get method, then it will give order object and then I'm printing it. Somewhere it is missing. Okay, cool. Semicolon is missing. Yeah, if you see here, you got all orders information. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 orders, 6 orders, you got it. Right? Now, this is very straightforward and you know that it's just like storing values, order or objects, right? Now, my point is, if I have duplicate orders, like we discussed, same thing with set also, right? When you have duplicate content, order 7 point of view, it's a new object only, but content wise exactly same, 6 point of view. Or at least assume order ID point of view, even though the rest of the values there is a small change, but order ID is the unique value. So in this case, that means you have total 2 orders with same order ID 6, but you have to make sure only one. So that means in HashMap, is it possible to keep unique values? No. HashMap will allow duplicate values, right? So in such a way, what will happen now? The size will become 7. So the count is becoming 7 now. So if I'm adding again the latest value, yeah, put 7 comma order 7. So what I'm doing, it's a duplicate object. Even if I added again order 6 one more time, same duplicate only. But still order 7 point of view it is pointing. So duplicate values are allowed. That's the point of view. It will allow even duplicate objects also. So if you see here, let it load, let it load it. Yeah, if you see here, 2 times duplicate value is available. Duplicate objects. Because first of all, values itself allowed as a duplicate values in HashMap. Only keys level it used to represent as unique keys is going to be maintained internally. So that means now if I am going to the second requirement point of view, all order object point of view, maybe I'm going to maintain its status like created, delivered, something like that. So that means in this case, the key becoming order info. And then value is string value. So now I'm taking one more hash map with same order info, but this time keys as order info. Now what is the rule? We know that hash map will not allow or hash map will maintain only unique keys. Only unique keys. Unique keys. Right? So such that means if I have a order information with order ID 6 point of view, so this is order ID 6. Now as a key I added this first time. Okay, fine. Now with respect to same order ID 6, again I added one more key. Then usually what is the by default behavior of hash map? Allowing only unique keys. That means in such case, if I added these two values 2 times, but ultimately you have to see only one order info object with the order ID 6. That is what our expected behavior, right? So is it happening or not? Let's see. So even though you added 3 times with respect to the same order ID object, 6 point of view, keys point of view, I'm talking this time. Okay. So even though if I added same order object 2 times, it has to maintain only one order ID object as a key. Only one order object as a key, but not more than that. So is it happening or not? Let's see. Hmm, I'll take new demo. Okay, so what I will do, I'll keep order objects as it is. Okay, so see here, now I'm just keeping order objects as it is. Okay, this time key itself order info and value, you can store anything. So I'm taking a string. Okay, so let's put values. Now see here, order information of order 1 comma. So I'm writing something like delivered or whatever it is. Okay. So if I'm keeping again same order one, if I'm keeping again same order one, okay, with any different value, something like that, return. Now in this case, what is the general behavior? What we are expecting here it is keys when I added same key 2 times, it has to keep only one key value pair. So that means I added two key value pairs, but ultimately in the hash map level, only one entry should available. Why? Because it's an order on object and it's a order one object. And it has to take latest value in place of deliver. So what's happening? Let's see here. This is sort of before adding the duplicate object, I'm printing hash map. And after adding the duplicate object, I'm printing the hash. So you have to remember your set. I discussed hash set, custom objects with hash set. People who practice, who listen, they are understanding what I'm explaining now. So if you are not clear, then go back to hash set one more time and listen the classes and then come back here. Then you can understand. Now see here, what happened? If you observe here, same object added 2 times as a key. Order one, order one. Actually, order one and order one as it is same, right? So same order one object I added 2 times as a two keys. In a simple language, I added 2 times order one, more than one. But generally, when you are added 100 times also, with respect to hash map functionality, with respect to key wise, it has to maintain only one copy of that key, right? But now, if I added 2 times, it is maintaining two copies. If I added again third time, it will maintain third copy also. What has happening in this? So order one and finally completed something like that. Okay, now what will happen? Total three objects available. And 3 times also I added same order one object only. See, order one, order one, order one. So that means what's happening? Delivered, returned, completed. So in this case, what is the rule violating? It's not, this is violating this rule. So that means in this case, what's happening? Key is storing default, sorry, T is scoring duplicate objects. Even though I'm giving duplicate objects, same objects, it's just considering as individual, considering as individual case. But our expectation point of view, generally, if I added 3 times of also order one, it has to override always with latest value, that means ultimately only one object should be available with respect to order one point of view. So why it's not happening? So same story we discussed with respect to hash set. When I'm adding employee objects, and when what generally hash set behavior is what? Allowing only unique values. But if you are doing same thing with respect to a custom objects point of view, when I added hash set level, okay, same employee object to Alice 99 something like that with respect to this, what happened guys? It is considering this as a unique value, but actually content wise it's a duplicate value. Content wise it is a duplicate value, right? S6 and S2 point of view, content wise it is a duplicate, but still in this case you are seeing size as 6. Why? What is the reason? What we did it? Equals and hash code method. So then what HashMap is suggesting? Do equals and hash code method overriding, okay, with respect to which property you are considering that object as a unique object. So then once you have done that equals and hash code method overriding, what happened? Automatically then this x6 is not added as a new value. So that means internally it started evaluating content of the object. Content of the objects. Now same problem in this case also. Now in this case also what's happening here it is, it's not validating content of order references. So the order references what you are passing, it's not validating internally the content what exactly it is having. If you see content wise everything is same, 100% is all are same, content is same. So order one, content is exactly same, but it's not validating internally. To make sure same behavior like to achieve, so this will be asked in interview guys. If I have custom objects and if I added to the hash map, it's not, it is allowing me to add duplicate values. I mean, it is storing duplicate values. So to overcome that, what we have to do? To achieve the default nature of hash map, like keys are unique, I want to make my my custom objects or my objects also being added unique, even though if I'm adding duplicate objects. So what you have to do that? So in that class, you have to override equals and hash code method. Okay. Sorry, to achieve same key behavior with custom objects or user defined objects, whatever it is, in hash map, please add equals and hash code methods implementation. So what you have to do is you have to make sure adding equals and hash code method implemented inside that classes. So now let's go to the order info class. What I'm doing here it is I'm overriding the equals and hash code methods. I'm overriding equals and hash code methods. Now let's see here. I'm generating from by using equals and hash code. Yeah, if you see here, equals point of view, it is considering all the content as it is. If there is a small change, then it will consider as a unique value. If exactly match, then it is again a duplicate value like that. So I return all these things. So I return equals and hash code method contract point of view. I implement overridden equals with respect to order ID of current object with the comparable or comparing object point of view. So like that internet it will compare each and every object and it will make sure which is a duplicate and all, it will take care of it. So please go through the what is a equals, what is a hash code method. If you are not good with that, go back to old classes and please listen it. Okay. What is the contract between equals and hash code? Why we have to override two at a time? Is it really mandatory or not? If you are not mandatory, if you are not doing that, what will happen? So that is all explained in our previous sessions. And same thing being done in the hash set also. So just go through there and come back here and listen it. I can't help you in this case. Again, y equals hash code and all. So now let's go back to the HashMap demo file. Now let's execute same application once again. I'm not doing any changes in this case in the HashMap level. I added again 3 times order one, order one, order one, order one. Now let's see here. Give me a second, I'll tell you. Actually, people will not consider all the properties mostly. Generally, we will make sure only order ID point of view. Sorry, it's my mistake. I'm printing before that every time. So I have to print finally, right? I have to print finally. And then let's see out of these three, which one is picked. See, now how many objects available means in the overall hash map, only one. Oh, sorry. It's correct only. Even that hash map override and also, this is also fine. Okay, let me remove it and let me show you one more time. See here. Okay, so this, sorry, I forgot that system not order. So now see here, that's what behavior. Now what I will show you here it is, same thing you observed in the hash set also. If you added order one, order one, order one 3 times, it's added only one time. Leave about equals and hash code. I forgot that system.out.println. Okay, so what happened here it is, order one, order one, order one, I added 3 times. It taken only latest value. Even though without equals and hash code. Please remember, I removed equals and hash code. So it's maintaining only one object at a time. How? The point here it is, what is the order one memory location point of view? If it is if you take an hash, okay, if you taken the memory point of view, JVM memory point of view, order one is have a unique hash code value, right? Something like assume 1 2 2 3 like that. So the first, whenever I am putting this as a key, it is looking same hash code. Second time, same hash code. That's why it is observed. That's why what it is doing is with respect to order one point of view, it considering as a duplicate key and it is insert, okay, it is taking only value and replacing. Similarly, the moment you again, I mentioned as order, okay, this third one also, in this case also what it is doing is, it just making, identifying as same hash code value with respect to order one, with respect to order one point of view. Then what it is doing is in this case also, okay, order one is already same point of view. So it's just taking only completed value and it's replacing completed value in place of return. So ultimately in the hash map level, only one object is added in this case because you directly given order one reference, order one reference, order one reference. Okay. Now my next scenario is, let's see here. I'll keep data as it is. I'll keep data as it is, but I'll maintain it as order 9. If you observe here, I'll keep order 1 and order 9, something like that, whatever it is, order 10, whatever it is. See, references wise now it's order 10, order 1, order 10. But values wise exactly everything is same. Content wise. So now based on this, what will happen in the memory point of view? In the memory point of view, order 10 object it is, right? Order 10. And assume its hash code value in the JVM memory point of view. This is something like 22, 44, 77, something like that. So that means in this case, the moment you mention put order 10 comma something, whatever it is, status created or whatever it is. Now in this case, what is going to happen here? It's just checking order 10 hash code value. So it's a different value. Already in the hash map level, this memory is already there. This hash code value is already there. This is existed. So the moment whenever it is existed, so with respect to second point of view, it observed same hash code. Okay, let's take only value. Same hash code, let's take only value. But in this case, when it goes to the order 10, it is the hash code value is different hash code value. So then what it is considering is, okay, it's a new object. Let's take the value. Let's create as a new entry like that. It will make it. It's making the entry. In earlier case, order 1 comma delivered means first time it is just delivered. Delivered. After that, again order 1 comma returned, right? So what it observed, order 1 hash code is 11122333. But in the hash map, it's already there. So that's why what it is doing is it just replacing a returned value and plus of delivered. After that, again order 1. So that means again same hash code. Then what it is doing is it just replaced this completed in on top of delivered point of. So that means ultimately one order, one object is maintained in the above three put operations. But in this case, it's 10 and different hash code. That's why. But the problem here it is content wise, exactly same content. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exactly same content. So maybe references wise two different locations, but content wise same content. So that means can I say leave about hash map has it? In this case, can I say order 1 and order 10 are duplicates or not? In general language, in general, I can say order 1 and order 10 are duplicates. Yes, obviously, order 1 and order 10 both are duplicates. How you are saying that? Exactly same data. So that's why order 1 and order 10 are duplicate. But if I added again order 10 in this case, what's happening see here? Yeah, now I am adding order 10. Put, I'll take like order 10. So something, whatever it is, deliver, created something. So in this case, content wise order 10 and order 1 content both are same. So that's why hash map is identifying the content or not we have to observe now. So hash map is identifying location wise, it is identifying the location and it is considering in these three cases order 1 is the same object. So please maintain only value, latest value like that. But in this case, location wise, it is different when comparing with existing hash code values. That's why it is considering new entry. But my point is it comparing the internal content also or not? No. So let's see here. Same behavior like hash map has set point of. Okay, let me print it. It maintained only one copy, so something is missing here. Yeah, so if you observe here, if you don't have a hash code and these values, if I'm not overriding, what's happening? Default behavior observe. Without equals and hash code, what's happening? Just try to understand. This is working very bad. See, you may think one more point also. These are all things really are we doing in real time means yes, man, we will do it. Okay, don't think like we can't, we will not do it. Sometimes you will get, assume you got a file, and in that file you are having 10,000 students information or 10,000 orders information, and out of that 10,000, assume duplicate data is existed, and you have to read that file and you have to convert that into Java objects and you have to store into database. Then while inserting into database, you have to identify duplicate data. So you have to filter the duplicate data from that file. So like that, in such scenarios, we will do all these scenarios. Don't think like we can't do that and we are thinking only in the class perspective, no. Yeah, if you see here, if you observe here, what happened? Order 1 point of view, still it is showing completed. Order 10 is not considering in this case. Order 10 is not being considering. Even though we are inserting, it's not being considering. But if you observe the statuses, different statuses created, right? But it is still showing the latest one order. So what it is doing is it just comparing the content, but it's not picking the latest value. It's just ignoring the thing. But the moment if I added again equals and hash code in this case, so let me generate. Okay, now let's come back here and let's execute it now. Now if you observe here, the status, latest status taken as created. Why? Only one object is available, and if you see the size also, so what's happening in this case? If you see the size, you will see only one, right? But I added order 1 3 times. Okay, that we are clear. Same order reference point. But order 10 is same, a different reference, different object also here if you observe. But content wise exactly same with order 1, right? So that's why what it is doing is internally it started validating the content. Whenever it is adding order 10, internally what it is doing is it's verifying all the objects in the hash map with the same content any existing object available or not. By using equals hashcode method implementation, what it is doing is it is verifying is there any previous object added as key matching with the content of the current object or not, like that. If not matching, then it will become as a new record. If it is matching, then it's considering as a duplicate key and it is picking only latest value. See here, created. Now let's go back to the order 10, and I'm changing one small thing with respect to mail ID point of view. So this is placed by a person called as something like Suresh or whatever it is. Now let's see here what's happening again. So what happened now? Two orders are there. Size is 2. Size is, if you see here, order information, size is 2. Why? order 1, and if you observe here, completed. But order 1 again with respect to Suresh point of view, created one more. So there is a small difference in the content. That's why it's considering as a duplicate, it's a unique key. Content wise, there is a difference. But how this is identifying this content every time is all about based on the equals and hash code value, what we written, what we overridden, like that. So this rule, this things you have to remember when you are adding custom objects as a keys. Otherwise, you are adding the duplicate content in different references point of view. It will consider as a, if you are not overriding, it will consider as a new hash, okay, key duplicate. It will consider as a duplicate key, and you can't see that hash map behavior like keys are unique. That behavior you can't achieve by default. You have to take care of equals and hash code method overriding, like what we did in the hash set point of view. Same formula here also. Okay, so this is all about hash map. So we covered all these scenarios with respect to hash map, like removing, deleting, iterating, custom objects as keys, custom objects as values, everything we covered. Okay. So tomorrow what I will do is I'll just compare what is a tree map with hash map. What is the difference between tree map and hash map? There is a small difference. You already know that, like tree set versus hash set. What is the difference? Sorting, right? Similarly here also tree map versus hash map also small differences are there, internal behavior point of view, but coding wise 100% is same. Okay, so what is the difference and all we will discuss tomorrow. Just 5-10 minutes of discussion, a small example I'll take and I'll show you 15 minutes, and then we'll move to the a new topic. So what I will suggest you is, if you are interested, just take this assignment. If anyone is interested, try this assignment. I will give some difficult one only. What it is collect all products information associated to order information. So what is the point here? It is, it's a little bit complex only. I'll give you explanation, and if you try to do that on your own. Collect all products information associated to order information. For example, order point of view, I have order ID and who placed the order ID and price, something like that. So this is a key. And against that, assume it is having two products, number of orders. It's a number of orders. This is order ID. So name of the order, customer name, price, order price, overall price, and then how many number of items, number of products, number of items, whatever it is. So like that. Now again as to that, what I want products information. So that means if I'm considering this as a key, then value will become what, guys? Two product items. Two product items. Two product items. Okay, so that means you have to maintain againstly product ID. For example, 1 comma product name is something like phone comma some price like maybe assume like 500 rupees, something like that, 500. Now second product also 2 comma something like its charger, whatever it is, comma 500, like that. So now how will you maintain value with respect to these two product objects? Now these two are product objects. At a time you can store only one object, right? You can't keep, right? So that means, can you guess what you can do in this case? I'll give you hint. Just try to follow it. So I'm giving order. Okay, this is clear. Value wise only one order object, comma, sorry, key wise, value wise, but more than one product. So if you are having number of items 5, then 5 of product information, what are those 5 you have to maintain. So can I maintain with respect to list of product? all something info equal to new hash map. So I given some complexity. That's what. Now key is order object, value is list of product objects. Now it's cool, right? Now what is happening in this case? Yes, exactly. You are doing same thing. One order object, list of product objects, like that. Now again is to one order object, the number of products what you are having here, number of items, then those many items information you have to capture again is to that. So please concentrate on this and try to complete this. I mean, make it possible. And in this case also, I don't want to allow duplicate items. If I given a constraint like, okay, note, don't allow duplicate products in an order, in an order. Then tell me guys, what is the change you have to do in this case? Anyone? So make it as set as well as override equals and hash code method. So I'm giving solutions. Only thing is you just write the things equals and hash code method override and then make it as set in below. Then what is the advantage of that? So set will not allow duplicates, even though if you are overriding equals and hash code, definitely it will make sure always only unique product items against to that order. Your requirement is demanding only duplicates all order, okay, orders also products also, then make it as a list. Then make it as a list. So like that, based on the requirement, you have to take all these decisions. So consider this example and practice it. You will get a lot of knowledge. So one time with duplicates, one time without duplicates. So second, same thing, hello, duplicate products in an order. So use case 2, use case 1. Complex one only. Take the time, no problem. Okay, but practice it. Try to get it. That's all. Okay, so just take this assignment and try to complete. And let's see tomorrow tree map versus hash map. And then we'll see a new topic, what has to be pending and what we can take under. We'll try to discuss it. Okay, so probably we'll start Stream API point of view, functional interfaces, predefined functional interfaces. I'll start probably tomorrow. Then we'll start Stream API. So without understanding these four functional interfaces, predefined one, you can't understand Stream API properly.